And we want you to bring him on with a real Sunshine State welcome. Here he comes, Chuck Zink.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't know you was all out here, and I'm glad you're here. How are you? Okay. So it's an honor to be introduced by him. But I know you didn't come out here to hear me. You came out here to see some pretty girls, and 85 of them we have for you. And as Sid did say, ladies and gentlemen, they do get a little bit nervous. This is showbiz, but it's also that nervous time. They're all bunched back there. So I hope that you'll be generous with your applause, not just for the girl that you came to root for, but for every girl that is here tonight. And I guarantee we're going to have a good show. We'll keep it moving, and we'll have some fun. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our parade of beauty delegates, all vying for that coveted crown of Miss Florida USA of 1980. And as each one comes on stage, let's give them a warm greeting. Okay, as we begin our first group. And here they come, Miss Terry Heinel from Orlando. Let's meet and greet her. Next we have Kim Warren, Miss Fort Lauderdale. Say hello to Vicki Martell from Maitland. Lori Seckley from Gainesville. Anita Tijon from Miami, Florida. Here's Jay Millman from North Miami, Florida. Say hello to Tracy Mankowitz from Shalimar. Symphony Richards of Jacksonville. Pam Walk from Pinellas Park. And Denise Wilbanks from Lakeland, ladies and gentlemen. And there's our first group. Let's give them a nice big welcome. Aren't they beautiful? And thank you, girls. Thank you very, very much. As you know, all of our young ladies were in our preliminary pageant, and they have been competing ever since they arrived here. So I'll guarantee you that they have been seen and watched and interviewed by our judges as we present the next group of lovely young ladies from Miami, Florida. And here is Cynthia Silva from Surfside, Florida. Representing Clearwater, here's Tricia Irwin. Gables. And here is Carol Valentine from Naples. Ellen McCarthy from Fort Lauderdale. Sarah Gayden from Miami, Florida. Barbara Bowser from Miami Springs. Missy Edgebaugh from Fort Myers, Florida. And here is Terry Lumsden from Sarasota. Rosanna Castillo from Miami. Cynthia Lopez from Orlando. Angie Taylor from Panama City. Susan Kempa from Palm Bay. Cindy Holloway from Eustis, Florida. Sharon Daughtery from Fort Lauderdale. Kristen Petzworth from Alamonte Springs. And Gay Marshall from Miami. Could you move down, young ladies, so they can all get in? There we are. Every one of them outstandingly beautiful. How about a nice hand for this group of beautiful young ladies? Thank you, girls. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Sydney. Woo! How about Sherry Decker of Fort Lauderdale? Presenting Diane East of Tallahassee. Diane Iannuzzi of Tampa, Florida. Robin Wakefield from Sunrise. Barbara Berry from Tampa, Florida. Valerie Lundeen of Miami, Florida. Karen Knowles from Jacksonville. Costa from Miami. Shanila Cooley from Miami, Florida. Diane Bertrand from Miami. May I present Debbie Hayes from Plantation. From Middleburg, Florida, here's Rose Conry. From Panama City, here's Julie Pratt. And here's Lynn Hemmerly from Boca Raton, Florida. And there they go. As the beat goes on and the parade goes on of our beauty delegates, and right now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, the beat goes on and it's getting close now. Soon I will receive the official announcement of the 15 semifinalists. Really mean this when I told you this afternoon. I think this is one of the grandest, most beautiful groups of young ladies I've seen on stage in a long time. And any one of you could very easily become Miss Florida USA of 1980. You never know. It can happen. And speaking of becoming Miss Florida, well, last year at the Diplomat Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, this young lady, well, she had that magical thing happen to her when she heard her name announced. And I'd like for you to meet her right now. Not only is she lovely, but she's done a marvelous and professional job of representing our Sunshine State as Miss Florida USA of 1979. So please join me in welcoming our reigning queen, and here she is, Penny Sheridan. Okay, the first one to join a very select group, and it would be from Almonte Springs, Kristen Titsworth. There she comes. Joining Kristen will be from Panama City, Julie Pratt. Julie Pratt is our next semifinalist in a lovely red dress. Another young lady who could very easily be the representative of our Sunshine State from Bartow, Mamie Caraway. Here's a young lady that I'm sure going to be very happy hearing her name announced, Kim Warren from Fort Lauderdale. Happens to be a young lady by the name of Barbara Bowser from Miami Springs. May I present contestant number 7 of our 15 semifinalists, and her name is Tony Tujian of Tampa. We're really popping all over the state of Florida because right now it is my pleasure to introduce our next semifinalist, and her name is Michelle Lewis from Tarpon Springs. And I was adding to this group in the number 11 slot happens to be from Clearwater, Tricia Irwin. Tricia Irwin. And now may I present another of our semifinalists, and her name happens to be Pam Shanila Cooley from Miami, Florida. Long to learn how to pronounce her name. Here she comes. Lovely young lady. I have 3 more names to announce, and we will have selected our 15 semifinalists to continue with our pageant. And one of the names happens to be Valerie Lundeen of, gentlemen, one more name, and then it's on with the game as I present the 15th young lady, and she is Melody Goodyear of Clearwater, Florida. gentlemen, our 15 semifinalists, and let's give them a nice hand and wish them well as they continue the journey. And before the evening is over, one of them will stand alone on the stage wearing that crown and representing her state. Thank you, girls.
And instruct them on Saturdays.
What do you think is the most exciting dance today?
Oh, disco is fun, but I'm partial to ballet.
Disco's sort of wearing out a little bit, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Whereas ballet will be around for a while.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. You're a lovely lady, and thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mamie Caraway, a secretary and a dance teacher from Bartow, Florida. And we'll tell you a little bit more about Mamie a little bit later on, because right now I'd like to introduce Kim Warren. How about a nice hand for Kim? Hello, Kim.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And where do you live?
I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I'm a full-time student at the University of Florida in Gainesville.
Now you're going to go into business, right? When you're not going to school and just sort of having a good time, what do you like to do?
Oh, I like to swim, I like to jog, I like to keep active, exercise.
Very good. You enjoy life.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Good luck to you, Kim. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Warren from Fort Lauderdale, a student at the University of Florida. Thank you, Kim. I mentioned at the beginning of the program, and you've heard us talk a lot about it, in addition to being able to walk and being able to stand and being able to smile, you also have to be able to talk. And many, many times, the young lady that is selected is going to have a microphone put in front of her and expect a lot of answers. Your name is?
Kristen Tetzworth.
And Kristen, it's nice to have you here. Tell me how you happened to get involved in this particular pageant.
Well, it's kind of a funny story, but I'm an urban planner, which is a professional career, and I never really wore makeup or anything until I was 23, never combed my hair or rolled it or anything.
You must have looked a mess.
So it was kind of just a personal growth type of a thing that I wanted to do, and it really makes my mom happy.
And you're happy, too.
Yes, I am.
When you're not modeling and working, what do you like to do?
I do trick shot exhibitions.
What do you mean you do? With a gun or a...
No, pool.
You're a pool hustler?
No, I don't hustle. I don't go in bars and hustle.
I didn't mean that, but I mean, you're a pool player.
I'm a pool player, but I also do trick shot exhibitions. Have you seen the light beer commercial?
Yes, I have. Well, the guy says, who about that?
Yeah.
You made that? That was you?
No, that wasn't me. That was Steve Mizrak. I do that. I do
With
that.
the do you drink light beer, too?
I don't drink light beer, no.
Seriously, I know that...
With water.
No, what's a name among friends? Now, tell me something. I know that
I am.
you, a lot of the girls hold titles or have held titles, but you recently held a title that probably is something you'll never forget.
I was the 1979 Orange Bowl Queen.
And that was an exciting experience.
It certainly was.
What's the one thing you're going to remember about it more than anything else?
The Orange Bowl Parade.
Why?
Because all the people, they look at you and they're so happy just to see your face and put a smile on theirs is really an experience, and it was just a great moment.
What's the most exciting thing you would say has happened in your life thus far, Lisa?
Being right here, right now, I can't believe this. I'm so excited.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
You didn't expect to be named in the semifinalists?
No, I did not.
Well, what do you think is going to happen from here on in?
I don't know.
I don't either.
We'll find out.
We'll find out together.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Smith. As we say hello to Michelle Lewis. And would you come right over here, Miss Lewis, and we'll have a chance to chat with you. And you are from where?
Tarpon Springs,
How tall are you, Michelle?
5'9.5".
Do you feel that generally in your day-to-day existence, being tall, 5'9.5", is an advantage or a disadvantage in your life?
Definitely an advantage.
Why?
Cause in crowds, you can always find everybody.
I never thought about it that way. Do you always seek out someone that is taller than you, or at least as tall as you are?
I like to look eye to eye to people.
I see.
I try not to make them nervous either, you know. I try not to look down.
Would you like to come over here and I could stand on the pedestal? Hi, Pam Chanella.
Chuck, you said my name wrong.
Hey, we went over this afternoon. Pam Chanella?
Chuck, you said my name right.
Well, if you first don't succeed, you hang in there, don't you? Pam Chanella. I asked you this afternoon, and where did you get that name?
Oh, well, my father said that I was an unexpected baby. Now, you mothers know what unexpected babies are, of course, right? Okay, now on the delivery table, the doctor said, Miss Cooley, you have a baby girl. My mother looked up. He says, now what are you going to name this little girl? My mom looked around. She says, well, I think we'll call her Pam. And she sneezed and said, and when she said that, somebody was saying a la, and they said, Pam Chanella. And they wrote it down on my birth certificate, and that's how I got my name.
That really happened?
Yeah, this is what my father told me.
Did anybody? What do you think you probably walk away with the greatest memory of?
Oh, I probably would say the Isla del Sol. It's so beautiful here, and I think the people have extended such a warm welcome to all the pageant girls, and it's been just great. I've enjoyed the tennis and also the boating. We got to go out on the sailboats and played a little bit of volleyball. Enjoyed it very much. It's a beautiful facility.
Melody, thank you, and good luck to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Melody Goodyear. Thank you very much, Melody, and we'll be seeing you a little bit later on. Well, I took a little bit of time because this is probably the most time-consuming part of our entire pageant, but it is the most important. And so I'm sure that everybody will be interested in this. And without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to present our first group of contestants in the swimsuit competition, and here they are. Let's give them a nice welcome. And there they are for your edification, wearing their Catalina suits. Girls. That's all right. Don't worry about it, Tony. I couldn't even remember which page I was on at the top of the show. I think it's the atmosphere of Isla del Sol. It's so magnificent, you sort of lose track of what's happening. One more time. Thank you, girls. And now I'd like to present our first young lady individually in our swimsuit competition. This is Kristen Petzworth of Alamani Spring. Kristen stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighs 112 pounds, and her measurements are 35, 23, 35. She is 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing 100 pounds. Her measurements are 36, 22, 34. She too has lovely brown hair and brown eyes. This is Julie Pratt. Thank you, Julie. And ladies and gentlemen, here's contestant number 3, Mamie Caraway. Mamie, of course, comes to us from Bartow. She's 20 years old. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 123 pounds. Her measurements are 36, 23, 36. She has blonde hair and lovely green eyes. Mamie Caraway, and here she is, Mamie Lee. Contestant number 4 now comes front and center, and her name is Kim Warren. Kim is 19 years old from Fort Lauderdale. She is 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 113 pounds. Her measurements are 34, 24, 34. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and a radiant smile. This is Kim Warren. And thank you, Kim. May I present contestant number 5. And here is Eugenia Raiwan. This lovely young lady is 24 years old from Miami, Florida. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 105 pounds. Her measurements are 34, 23 and a half, 34. With blonde hair and blue eyes. This is Gina Raiwan. Here is contestant number 6. Her name is Barbara Bowser. She is 20 years old. She comes to us from Miami Springs. 5 feet 7, 110 pounds. Her measurements are 35, 25, 35. Beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes, lovely smile, Barbara Bowser. Contestant number 7 is now standing before you. This beautiful young lady is Antoinette Pouillon. She's 20 years old from Clearwater and Tampa. 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighs 115 pounds. Her measurements are 34, 24, 34. Obviously, she has beautiful red hair. And if you look closely, she has brown eyes. A very pretty young lady. This is Antoinette Pouillon. Would the next group of contestants please come forward? And here they come. Now, I want to tell you, that's a bevy of beauties on stage, right? There they are. Yes, you can applaud. I think they deserve it. No doubt about it. You're lovely, girls. Thank you, girls. Stepping into our center stage right now is a very pretty young lady by the name of Lisa Smith. Lisa from Largo. Lisa's 19 years old, 5 feet 8 inches, weighing 120 pounds, 34, 25, 35, weighing 128 pounds. Her measurements are 36, 25, 35. Beautiful blonde hair, green eyes, and a smile that's, well, it just won't stop. This is Michelle Lewis. Thank you, Michelle. Say hello to contestant number 10. This is Barbara Berry. Barbara, of course, is the young lady from Tampa. She's 24 years old. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 120 pounds. 36, 24, 35. Her measurements. And she has blonde hair and green eyes. And a smile to match. Thank you, Barbara. 2 years old, and she is a professional model. She's 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 115 pounds. 34, 24 and a half, 34. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and a radiant smile. Tricia Irwin. Thank you, Trace. Here's contestant number 12. Pam Shanila Cooley. Pam's 23 years old, from Miami, Florida. She stands 5 feet 7 and a half inches tall, weighing 115 pounds. Her measurements are 34, 24, 34. She has brown hair, brown eyes, just one very pretty young lady. any luck. As we say hello to contestant number 13, and here is Valerie Lundeen. This pretty young lady is from Miami. She's 23 years old. She's 5 feet 8 and 3/4 inches tall, 128 pounds. Her measurements are 34, 24, 36. She has blonde hair and hazel eyes and a winsome smile. Thank you, Valerie. Say hello to contestant number 14, Linda Talbot. Linda comes to us from Miami Lakes, Florida. She's 20 years old. She stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 125 pounds, 34, 24, 35. She has brown hair and brown eyes, and a striking figure and a very pretty smile. This is Linda Talbot. May I present contestant number 15, Melody Goodyear. Melody from Clearwater is 23 years old. She's 5 feet 10.5 inches tall, weighing 129 pounds, 36, 25, 36. Beautiful blonde hair, lovely green eyes, this statuesque beauty. Before you right now is Melody Goodyear. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have met all of our girls in the swimsuit competition. And the judging continues. And I'll tell you, speaking of judges, this has to be one very difficult job. And I mean that because every one of them very easily could be named our winner. Speaking of our judges, I would like to introduce them right now. And I would like to mention the fact that it is quite an honor to be selected as a judge, and is quite a responsibility. I would first like to introduce a man who certainly is no stranger to beauty. He publishes a magazine on beauty. It's called Florida Model. He has been a judge many, many times, and he is a friend of the Florida pageant. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Mr. David Gerber. David. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce a very lovely young lady who happens to be the president of one of the leading model agencies and theatrical agencies in the state of Florida, and we're always delighted that she's here, friend, and she does something that I really like, because every girl that comes down that runway, she sort of gives them a little wink and a little bit of encouragement. Miss Dot Burns, everybody. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce a handsome young man who comes to us all the way from Chicago, Illinois. He is a recording artist. He is a host. He is an Emmy Award winner. He hosts state pageants throughout the United States, the Mrs. America pageant, and many, many other different environments. And we're delighted that he's with us. Would you please join me in giving him a nice hand, Mr. Jim Gibson, everybody. I would say that this next young lady I probably have introduced at least 100 times, and each time I try to find a few more words to describe her because, well, I always start out the same way by saying back in 1967, I had the pleasure of doing the opening and the preliminary shows in Miami. And I always remember that I introduced this young lady from Alabama, but she didn't really live in Alabama. She lived in South Miami, but she attended the University of Alabama, and that's where she represented or registered to join the pageant. Anyway, she became Miss USA, and we were all pretty excited. But that was nothing. She kept right on going, and she became Miss Universe of 1967. She's just as pretty today. She's a business person. She is a sports person. She is a lovely person in all ways. Sylvia Hitchcock Carson. Well, being from Miami, that's my home. I certainly know when I am in strange territories as far as being a football fan. I'm a big Dolphin fan, I'll admit it, but I have to give a lot of credit. Thank you, sir. Glad you're here, Don. Anyway, I'll have to give a lot of credit to a team that certainly pulled up their bootstraps and came through with a fabulous season. He is the voice of the Tampa Bay Bucks. He's the sports director of WFLA, and he is a man who has judged many pageants. We're delighted he's here. Please join me in a nice welcome, Mr. Randy Scott, everybody. In 1969, this young lady was the runner-up to Miss America. She was a former Miss New Jersey. She has been associated with pageants, and she's just as pretty today, and we're delighted that she's with us. Will you please join me in giving a nice hand to Miss Cheryl Neese, everybody. This next young man, I tell you, he can play on any team that he wants to, and you'll see why when he stands up. He goes quite a way into the sky. He's a graduate of West Point. He is a member of Ernst & Whinney, the certified public accounting firm, and we're delighted that he's lending his expertise here tonight as a man and as a profession. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Ruth. Next, I would like to present the lady who is the executive producer of the Miss St. Petersburg pageant. She has been associated with pageants and beauty for many, many years, and she, too, certainly is a beauty in her own right, and we're delighted that she's here, Marilyn Johansson. Marilyn? I could say that I left the best for last, but he just happens to be sitting there. And I want to tell you, I love this golf course. For 3 days, I never got so well in my life. And you do not get equal time with the microphone. But if you happen to tune into the Dolphin Network, this is the man you hear. He's the broadcaster of the Miami Dolphins, the University of Miami. He is an account executive for a leading advertising agency, and he's one of the best friends I have, Mr. Hank Goldberg. All right, I think we've covered everything, and we're going to continue this pageant because we're going to pick a winner, and I hope you'll be happy because it's now evening gown competition time. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our 15 semifinalists in the evening gown competition. And now we have our first group of young ladies competing in the evening gown competition. Thank you, girls. I know what a lot of you fellows are probably thinking, how did they manage to change from swimsuit back into evening gown, look so gorgeous, and do it so fast? They can't possibly do that on any other night in the week, but tonight they did it. Say hello to Kristen Petzworth. Kristen, of course, is the young lady who's the urban planner. In describing herself, she says, well, I think that you could say that I'm energetic and independent and native. She likes jazz singing and modeling. Her favorite star is Robert Wagner, but she would like to meet Mr. Gerald Ford one day. And if she could visit any place, it would be Budapest and Hungary. Her most prized possession, her freedom of choice. Contestant number 1, Kristen Petzworth. This is Julie Pratt. Julie from Panama City describes herself as being optimistic, happy, and loving. She likes to model and go dancing, and she loves lobster. Her favorite movie was The Goodbye Girl, and she really digs Jane Fonda. Her favorite flower is the orchid. She'd like to meet, she'd like to change places with Barbara Walters is what she would like to do. Thank you very much. Mamie Caraway is the next young lady stepping into the spotlight. Mamie is from Bordeaux, describing herself as being ambitious, dependable, and honest. Her hobbies include being the owner and instructor of her own school of dance, as she told us. If she could meet anyone, she would like to meet Sid Charisse. She'd like to visit Switzerland. Her good luck charm is a $5 gold piece. Her favorite food is steak. She likes to play ping pong. And this is Mamie Caraway. Kim Warren is our next beautiful contestant. Kim from Fort Lauderdale describes herself as determined, concerned, and appreciative. Her favorite food, any seafood. Her favorite motion picture star is Faye Dunaway. She likes the white rose as her favorite flower. Her favorite color is blue. If she could meet anybody, it would be Henry Kissinger, and she'd love to visit Africa. Her good luck charm is her smile. This is Kim Warren. Gina Rywant is our next young lady stepping into the spotlight from Miami, Florida. In 3 words, witty, intelligent, and happy. Her hobbies include playing billiards, pool, crocheting. Her favorite book was Scruples. Her favorite star is Robert Urich. She also likes Mary Tyler Moore. 8 is Enough is her favorite television program, and the red rose is her flower. She admires Bob Hope very, very much. She wants to become a successful model, which she is. Eugenia Rywant. Contestant number 6 is Barbara Bowser. Barbara describes herself as healthy and happy and active. Loves all kinds of gymnastics, swimming, and scuba diving. Her grandfather was the first to ride across the United States on a motorcycle. She'd like to meet Cheryl Tiggs. She could change places with anybody, would be Kathy Rigby. This is Barbara Bowser. Is understanding, perceptive, and adventuresome. Her hobbies include ballet and plants. She loves Italian food. Barbara Streisand is her favorite television star. Her favorite color is yellow. Would like to visit Europe someday. This is Antoinette Dungion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time for those judges to hand in the cards. We soon will be announcing our 5 finalists, and then it really gets down, as they say, to the nitty-gritty. Our reigning queen, Miss Florida, USA of 1979. She's such a pretty girl, and I know that she has enjoyed herself every moment from the time they placed the crown on her head. So would you please join me once again in welcoming her back on stage. We'll have a chance to chat and hear from her for the last time. How about a nice hand for Her Majesty Penny Sheridan, and here she is. Well, Your Majesty, it's been some kind of year, and I would imagine more things are going through your mind right now, aren't they?
Chuck, a lot of things are going through my mind. Being backstage with the girls, though, has got me more nervous than I was before I went back there. I want to thank a few people here. First of all, I'd like to thank the Gravitts, Grant and Mary Lou Gravitt, for all their guidance throughout the year. I'd like to thank my sponsors, ZK101, for their confidence in me, for one thing. And most of all, I'd like to thank my family for all their backing. And if I could recognize my mother, she's in the backstage, if you'd stand. Back row, I'm sorry. This lady deserves a lot of credit. She has helped me throughout this year, and I don't know how I would have done without her. A lot of people have been coming up to me this week and asked me how I felt about giving up my title. And I didn't know if I'd feel happy or sad or indifferent. But I decided I'd wait just to see how it'd feel to be on the other side of the fence. So I came and I watched the girls compete, and I knew deep down inside that each and every one of these girls wanted the title that I've had throughout the year. So I give all these girls a lot of credit for being here, because it does show a lot of character. So they all deserve a big hand of applause. Back to the question on how I feel about giving up my title. I feel that I have fulfilled my obligations as Miss Florida, and it's time for me to go back to my other responsibilities. So I do hope that I can pass on all the knowledge that I've gained here throughout my year and here this week to my students. And I hope that the next Miss Florida has as much fun as I have and lots of success to her. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very beautiful young lady, Penny Sheridan. What a marvelous job. Just a beautiful girl. And congratulations to you, Penny. You've been a marvelous, marvelous example. Now, if you'll stay right here, because we're going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to announce 2 of the most prized titles before we get down to announcing our 5 finalists. we're going to present something very special. And this goes to a young lady who I can understand because she is just Miss Perpetual Smile. I think she's the personification of not only beauty but of happiness. And Miss Amity goes to Elizabeth Milton. How about that? Elizabeth Milton. Elizabeth, there she is. Congratulations. Thank you. Would you like to say something?
Yes, I want to thank all the lovely girls that are in the pageant, and I want you to know they're the best that we've ever had, I guess. First time I've been here, so I guess they're the best.
You've had a good time.
Oh, a great time.
Well, I want to tell you, if they could package smiles, you'd win all the prizes. You are just beautiful.
Thank you.
Miss Amity, ladies and gentlemen, this is Elizabeth Milton. And, of course, when it comes to beauty pageants, you can always count on a lot of photographers, professional photographers, amateur photographers, and an awful lot of cameras. And at Isla del Sol this week, boy, they've been taking pictures right, left, and all angles. And we have a special title. It's called Miss Photogenic. We ask all of the professional photographers to vote on this very special title. And this year, Miss Photogenic goes to a very beautiful lady, Barbara Bowser. Barbara? There she is, Barbara Bowser, Miss Photogenic. Barbara, there's your trophy, and congratulations. And let's give them a nice hand. They certainly deserve it. Elizabeth Milton, Miss Amity, and Barbara Bowser, Miss Photogenic. Thank you very, very much. Well, and now it's time to ask all of our young ladies to return on stage, and they'll move on around here for our cameras, because it's time to bring out all of the young ladies who are semifinalists, and we receive the decision of the judges. So music, maestro, and here they come. Young ladies, would you please come back on stage? Okay. Now we're going to see if we have a decision. Do we have a decision for our 5 finalists? We do, and thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Well, as we mentioned to the other young ladies in our pageant at the beginning, before we announced the 15 semifinalists, not everybody can be a winner, but being a semifinalist is a great honor, and I want to congratulate every one of you. You are so pretty, and you've handled yourself so well and so professionally on stage. And thank you for being good contestants, okay? And now, here is the decision. The top 5, not necessarily in any order, it's just the way they came down here on the card. And the first one is Pam Cooley. Joining this very, very select group is Lisa Smith. Lisa Smith. Two down, 3 to go. And joining this very select group is Barbara Berry. Two more, and we will have our top 5, and then we continue. And one of the two, Barbara Bowser. One more name to announce. One more, and that name is Kristen Tetzworth. there they are, our 5 finalists, and I think they are absolutely beautiful and a good decision on behalf of our distinguished panel of judges. Congratulations to every one of you. All righty, thank you, girls. Thank you very much. Good luck to you, and thanks for being on our pageant. We'll see you a little bit later. How about a nice hand for the rest of our semifinalists, everybody, as they depart? I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to start with you, okay? Kristen, I'm going to hand you the microphone and just sort of let you take over, and you have about 30 seconds to just let it all hang out and say anything that you want to. We know who you are. We've had a chance to chat with you, but now it's up to you, okay? So there it is.
Thank you, Chuck. I'm Kristen. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. It's been tough backstage, but I would like to give a special message to my boyfriend. Tú eres mi cielo, tú eres mi amor, te amo, Ricky. Thank you.
Okay, Barbara, I have to go and interpret that, see that it's all right for the television.
Yes.
Is it okay? All righty. Keep it rolling, guys. It's okay. As we move along to Barbara Bowser. Barbara?
Thank you. My name is Barbara Bowser. I'm 20 years old, and I'm from Miami Springs. And I'd like to thank all the girls back there. I love you all, and I've had a wonderful time in these 3 days. It's been a real experience, and I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Barbara. And all your sister contestants are back there applauding for all of you. Well, sir, Barbara Berry, we have Barbara Bowser, Barbara Berry, the BB's here, and it's all up to you. Now, what would you like to say?
I feel like I have my own talk show. Other than that, I'd like to say good evening, and that I have really enjoyed this year. All the girls have been great. And as far as that goes, I'm being a native of Florida. I'd like very much to have the opportunity to represent you at the Miss USA pageant and show you what a real Florida girl can do.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara Berry. Lisa Smith, you put your hands up like you couldn't believe it when you heard your name announced. You couldn't believe it. Well, you can believe it. You're one of the 5, so there we go.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Lisa Smith. I'm from Largo. It's a small town down by Clearwater that probably most of you haven't heard of. It's one of those you just zip in and zip out. But I love Florida. I've never seen snow. I've been here all my life, and I would never leave it. And I want to thank everybody. I'm very happy, and I'm nervous, and I just can't believe this. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. All righty. Well, Pam Shanila, I think I finally got it right. Did I finally get it right? Yeah. You've made a lot of friends here this week, and I think that's nice. And speaking of friends, everyone here is your friend, and here is the microphone.
My name is Pam Shanila Cooley. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Miami, Florida, a buyer trainee with J. Barron's. First of all, I would like to give thanks to my sponsors because they made it possible for me to be here. Secondly, I would like to thank all the girls. Every last one of you are great. Then again, I would like to say, I have that opportunity to fulfill that dream that I once wanted. I am becoming somebody, and you people are realizing that I am somebody, and that I thank you for. Thank you.
I say it a lot of times, but it's always the most difficult part to have to pick a winner, because I hate to see anybody lose, but you're not losers. Just to go home tonight, even if your name is not announced, to know that you made the top 5 has got to be something very special, because there's a lot of pulchritude in the state of Florida, and we have 85 of them here. And now may I have the envelopes, please? Mr. Grant Gravitt. Thank you. We are going to announce a second runner-up, then I'm going to announce a first runner-up, and then I am going to announce a name, and that young lady's life is going to change, I guarantee you. And I know that it will be for the best. And our second runner-up goes to Pam Shanila Cooley. I'm now going to announce the first runner-up. I know it usually is said, but it's really true because it happens many times. The young lady's name that I'm about to give, if in case anything should happen that our new Miss Florida USA 1980 cannot completely fulfill her obligations, then the first runner-up will be asked to step in and take over. It's happened many times. We don't ever want it to happen, but in case it does, we always have that backup. And our first runner-up is Kristen Tetzwer. Okay, girls, this is it. We have Lisa and Barbara, and good luck to all of you. Holy mackerel, what a terrible thing to have to do here. What a nice thing to have to do. Again, because after I announce this name, forget it, Charlie, everything else breaks out. May I take this opportunity to thank Dot and David and Jim and to Sylvia and Randy and to Cheryl and Richard and to Marilyn and to Hank for doing a marvelous job. Thank you for being super judges. They really were, and we're very grateful. We thank all the nice people here at the Isla del Sol, because without them, we would have not had these accommodations, and we're very grateful. Thank you for making us feel so welcome. And now, that moment. Miss Florida USA 1980 is Barbara Bowser. Barbara Bowser. We have a new queen, and she's being crowned by a queen. Barbara Bowser, who comes to us from Miami Springs, Florida, manages a tennis shop. She also was our Orange Bowl queen, and now she is the young lady who will represent our state in the coming Miss USA beauty pageant. A beautiful, beautiful young lady, Barbara Bowser. There's a lot of talk. People say, well, do they cry? You're darn right they cry. Why shouldn't they cry? When you're happy, when you have accomplished what you have, you can cry all you want. And you can have my handkerchief to mop up if you want to. Let's go right ahead. There you go. Well, Barb, congratulations. I know that it was a very popular choice, and now what a great experience you're going to have. So once again, I'd like to turn the microphone over to you, and let's see what happens now, Your Majesty.
Gosh, I really don't know what to say. This is one of the happiest moments in my life. I thank everybody, and I'm going to try to do my best to represent the state of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you. And now on behalf of every young lady that is over there in the dark who absolutely was an outstanding contestant, and to all of our young ladies over there, and to Mr. Sussman, Mr. Gravitt, but especially to you. Without you, we would have been nothing. So on behalf of all of us, to all of you, have a good night and a better day tomorrow. And thank you, everybody. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Our Majesty, Barbara Bowser.
Want to keep the memories forever? Videos from past Heller Interest productions of Miss Florida USA and Miss Florida Teen USA competitions are wonderful keepsakes. Enjoy the state television broadcast and finals, preliminary night shows, and the one-of-a-kind behind-the-scenes series that takes you to unprecedented places in Sunshine State pageantry. Official program books are also available and look great on any coffee table. Simply text, email, or call us to place your order. We also now take PayPal.